Hello, folks. Welcome back. I'm LD. I'm joined here by Blitz.
Hello.
The only living 7K MMR caster in the world. This is going to be a very insightful cast, of course.
Hopefully. You know what I just realized?
No pressure.
This is going to be our last cast together in quite some time.
Yeah, you're going to the dark side.
That makes me...
I don't know if I'll ever cast with you again, actually. You'll be corrupted, tainted by the Sith Lord's influence.
I'm actually so sad about that. I'll talk to you about it after this.
Okay.
It's an emotional moment for me.
All right, well, we'll revel in our emotions together. We'll laugh, we'll cry, we'll cast some Dota. Vici Gaming is taking on HGT. And Vici Gaming not really needing a win. This game slightly important for them, just in the sense that they could maybe finish third versus second, or versus fourth, depending on the result of EG's current match. But it's a really big match for HGT, who are very close to being knocked out. If they go 5-9, 5-10, there's a good chance they end up bottom 4. A win here puts them most likely into that 9 through 12 position where they at least get to move on to the lower bracket of the main event.
Yeah, the problem is that I don't know if HGT can beat a motivated Vici team. Vici looked so close to beating Secret, the game that we just saw if people didn't watch.
Ugh.
They had it. Merlini even said, like, oh, the game's over. Vici won.
They should have won. But that's been the story of quite a few of Secret's wins. Like, I would say there's at least 4 or 5 games where their opponents, there was a point in the game where if they played it right, they should have won. Yeah, but Secret just has a knack for taking those games and winning them.
You just want to make the next to last mistake is how they're playing Dota right now, and they're taking advantage of teams' mistakes and pushing it further than most teams normally would, is the way that I look at it. For example, it always seems to be that if Secret does X, no matter how far behind they are, then they'll win the game. It's like if they just do this, they win one fight, game's over, they won. Like, it just seems to be the story of this tournament so far.
And the one thing that's scary with them is they really never give up a lead. I don't think I've seen them like throw away an advantage. That game, there was a few fights where they made some mistakes, but it was never like a game-changing mistake. Like, for example, what happened with Super and Black, where Black dies, then they lose the gem, and Black blows his 10-second BKB, and the whole game falls apart. Even when Secret give up a kill here or there, it's never like that crucial. But we've talked a lot about Secret. They're 15-0. We'll see them in the main event. William, it is to Vici Gaming and HGT that we turn our attention. First phase ban Wisp. HGT known a lot for their Shadow Fiend Chen, the Air Ember Spirit. They won't go that route this game. They instead open with Lion Troll after a Venge first pick. Vici Gaming going for the Super Shadow Fiend, so they get the minus armor going. Kind of a Secret-esque opening. And then they go Terrorblade. They're one of the few teams that actually run this hero right now.
I think they were the only team that ran this hero right now.
Yeah.
It's a pretty staple black hero. They used it at your summit, actually, to take a game to win.
And it worked really. I think it was against Cloud9 even.
It was. Yeah. And they seem to run the hero really well. I think it's really relying on the fact that Ice plays the really selfless 3. It's really weird. Some games he plays it almost like a 2, and other games he seems like he's content playing it as a 4, where he just will do a lot with a little. But regardless, having a player like Ice, it opens up so much in terms of flexibility. For example, when we played with Bambo and Zephyr, like, we obviously weren't the best team, understatement of the year, but what made it so easy is when I played with Bambo versus the other offlaners I've played with in my career, he just opened up the map. I could tell that I could get space. I would push myself a little bit more, knowing that Bambo would be able to catch up. I didn't have to worry about that and stuff like that. And if I feel like that playing with Bambo, imagine how Black feels like playing with Ice.
It's a weight off your shoulders.
Yeah, exactly. You just always know he's your reliable rock. It's like, okay, well, it's having an offlane player that's so solid like that. Your Ice is, your Universes, your... Who else is there, I guess? I guess those are Zai recently.
Yeah,
but he doesn't have enough body of work, I guess.
Right. I mean, if he plays like he has been, then Zai's definitely on that list.
Yeah, and when you just have a player in that kind of role...
Or even Xiao 8 when he was dominating in the offlane back, like TI2, post-TI2 era.
Yeah. It's just... That's the hardest lane, and if you see somebody like Ice, and you always know that reliably he's going to come out of it looking okay, it's just a weight off your chest, and you can do these greedy picks simply because you have a player like that. And just based on the draft, though, it's gonna be one of those games.
Yeah, he is looking like a very four-position-esque offlaner. They've got a greedy jungler, potentially in the Chen. I think it's slightly overstated how greedy Chen is in this patch, though. With the 2 creeps you get at level 3, you don't have to play that way. You can play very aggressively, focus on the early ganks, focus on the pressure mid, and maybe Vici even run this more along the lines of like how Secret were doing it, and just make sure they secure supers start in the laning phase. HGT going more of a face rush style lineup. They get the Brew, the Troll. Obviously, Air, a fantastic Brewmaster player. Single-handedly almost carried DT Club into TI4 on the back of it. So if that is an Air Brew, then most likely I think we even see the Troll for ZSMJ safe lane, and that would leave them needing this icy offlaner. His Clockwork got last banned by Vici Gaming. Generally, when teams pick the Troll, they prefer at least having one other right-clicking hero, but is there anything that jumps out at you as the offlaner here? Oh, Timbersaw. Okay.
I didn't even get a chance to like
good versus Terrorblade.
Respond at all. Yeah, he's pretty good hero overall. The issue that I see with him here is that you do need levels and items on Timbersaw, and if the Chen just pushes out Timber's lane and then the Venge properly zones, because Venge plus Terrorblade can actually kill him quite quickly. If he doesn't have early levels of reactive armor at like 2, but you also need Timber Chain at like...
And even if you do, Metamorphosis, you hit so hard each attack
that's what I meant.
As opposed to like lots of little attacks where you build up the reactive armor quickly.
Yeah, there's some cool things that you can do though with Timber. If you're against a single TB, even if he has Metamorphosis up, if you have 2 levels of reactive armor, you just aggro him in the creep wave, then 8 creeps hit you once, you walk away, and then you've got like 8 armor, plus a ton of regen going, and then you eat a tango, and then anytime they attack you, you're just gaining health.
And just try to keep the stacks up as much as possible.
Yeah, and the other thing about Timbersaw, their lineup is actually really well suited, though, to deal with the Terrorblade. So they have Skywrath is by far one of the best, just because his slow doesn't trigger off of illusions. So if you smoke gank, you can just throw the slow, and if it doesn't hit, then you lose absolutely nothing. And on top of that, you know that he's in the jungle. So it's just a good counter measure against Terrorblade. And then you have the Lion too, mana drain and stuff.
It's actually kind of surprising they picked into Terrorblade.
Yeah, that's...
Also because they have Shadow Fiend, and these two need both a lot of space.
You both need the jungle. This is the problem, what happens when you have a Shadow Fiend, a mid-like Shadow Fiend, and then you have a carry or a 4 position, like Sand King, for example, or like Bat Rider as an off lane and stuff like that. There's just not enough farm to share.
Well,
somebody has to stay on the map and get ganked.
Yeah, Vici Gaming, they need an Ice hero, something fairly selfless. Centaur not super selfless,
I don't think so.
This hero needs the Blink, he needs the Tranquil Boots. It's a lot on the Chen right now, it feels. Like the Venge can only do so much as a support. Can they get enough done to cover all their bases here?
I feel like just from a drafting perspective, I think HGT, I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to say that HGT, I feel like, has the better well-rounded draft. They accounted for a lot more. It's a lot less greedy. They don't properly utilize the troll too much, but the synergy of their lineup is there. They have a lot of counter-initiating, a lot of damage. But I feel like if Vici's going to win, it's just based on the fact that they did pick to their strengths, and also the fact that they just might be better players. Like, that's something that you should never discount, right?
Yeah, there's definitely an outskill factor that could be the difference maker, and they do have the Chen Venge, so the potential for these two just to get a good smoke anchor to suddenly Shadow Fiend snowballing doesn't really need help. They can focus on protecting the Terrorblade or stacking the jungle for the Centaur, perhaps. It's something you can't discount.
Okay, this brew item, by the way, this cosmetic, I normally don't like talking about cosmetics, but it's obnoxiously large.
Uh-oh. We're going to have a level 1 clash. I was trying to unmute Dota 2 real quickly, but let me see. Can I look at the brew? Is it? Oh, yeah, it's the Buster Sword.
That's...
You played Final Fantasy 7, right?
No.
No?
I've never owned a game system before.
Really?
Yep.
William.
It's not on me, dog. Korean parents, man.
But they let you play computer games.
No, they didn't. My mom took away my keyboard, so I had to use like the Windows on-screen keyboard to sign into Warcraft 3 and stuff. And then I had to find games and then just like play Sniper. I'm not even kidding. Like,
that's so funny.
You
couldn't just go, because you don't drive. So this was before you.
This was like when I was like 17 or 16, and so I was like.
Oh well, then being able to drive would have helped you. You could have just bought one.
No, I didn't have that kind of disposable income, man.
Watch by keyboard.
Yeah, my mom did give me money.
Man, you're...
Ice
That's a hard
Ice,
life.
though. He's going to get this bounty rune.
Oh, totally worth if he doesn't die, but...
I think it's even worth if he dies.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
It also it denies it to HGT as well.
The funny thing, though, is that it costs him 115 to buy this salve.
Which is more than the bounty rune. But he gets the experience.
Wait, what happened to his salve? Didn't he have a salve? Am I going crazy here?
I thought he did, yeah.
He
might have gotten canceled.
The cost of the bounty rune is like equal to what he just used for the salve.
Experience, William. Experience is priceless.
It really is.
I better be, because otherwise he's really screwed.
He's just lost out right now. It cost him 115 gold to get a salve canceled so he could get a bounty rune for 100 gold. I know it's worth it, people in chat. Trust me, but it's just funny as hell to me.
On paper, it might not seem that way. All right, we'll see Ice 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 under a lot of pressure here early. This is going to be a rough lane. Lion Troll is a melee hero. And they have to give super help mid because there's a Skywrath support for this Brewmaster. You leave the Shadow Fiend alone and he's easily going to die to these two. In fact, Clap was used. Now they're going on to super. And man, look at the damage output already. He's still level 1.
Yeah, I don't really think FY is going to do much here. Honestly, if I were FY, I wouldn't really bother too much being in this lane. I guess the problem is, though, that if HGT hit level 2, Super's dead 100%. And FY has to be up here to at least dissuade it. The problem, though, is that if HGT kind of just play this lineup really passively and go for little pokes, it's just not going to accomplish a whole lot.
I see getting fairly heavily harassed here, but the 4 stacks in reactive armor keep him safe. It's actually bottom lane where the real danger is lurking. Ice 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 brought down to 31 health. The value Oov pickup on ZSMJ making the difference. Super now being pursued out. They get the clap, and it's an easy takedown. FY literally just moved to check the rune at 2 minutes, and before he can even scurry back, Super's dead. And, I mean, end of the day, that's just Super being greedy in the lane.
Yeah, HGT also played that well. They properly recognized that the Vengeful Spirit moved out of position for even half a second, and then they just blew him up at level 2. CLD, I said 100% and I wasn't using hyperbole for once. He 100% died from that. The other problem here, though, is that I really...
What's the alternative to 100% dying?
80% dying? The thing is, the Venge doesn't make a difference there, especially because she skilled the Howl, or the Wave of Terror, I just call it Howl, level 1. And that's typically for the offlaner, so you can trade right-clicks with him, especially with the hero like Timbersaw. He's got like 0 armor, right? And if he doesn't have reactive armor level 1, which he won't probably, then you can just click him out. But now that he's got a Poor Man Shield and he's out leveling your Vengeful Spirit and he's got a level of reactive armor, that's not a game-winning proposition. And then on top of the fact that the Timber did get a lot, like he's level 3 right now and he definitely shouldn't be. And he's got 3 last hits when he should have 0. And your mid died while you were trying to babysit him.
And you're safe, your offlane's dying as ZSMJ goes and gets the solo kill, fragging that Centaur.
Just the power of the troll.
And on top of that, they blocked this camp, which I guess we never really talked about. So they haven't had access to that big camp. There's no stacks waiting for the Shadow Fiend. There's an Observer Ward here. There's 3 heroes that want to use the jungle. Actually, 4 potentially. Terrorblade, Shadow Fiend, Centaur, and Chen. And that jungle's not stacked. It's warded.
The Chen...
It's
100. Yeah,
this is economically very frustrating and difficult for Vici, I feel.
They should have gone and dewarded it. Let's be real here. It's not worth it right now. Just the fact that you can only access 1 large camp, that means you're playing the RNG game. Like,
and it's
completely.
one that Timbersaw is leeching experience off of as well.
Yeah, it's just not... I definitely don't think they should have left it up. Even if it sets your Chen back a little bit, the potential benefit of having him just get a Wild Wing Ripper, stack it a bunch. Imagine if that was like... That could be like 3 or 4 stacks right now. He'd have accelerated his farm to the point where buying a sentry would have been enough to pay it off. But now he's got student debt.
I mean, after that loss to Secret, it is entirely possible that Vici are fighting. They're tilting a little bit. Ultimately, this game doesn't really matter that much for them. They still go into the upper bracket as one of the top 4 teams, but they may not be bringing their A game right here.
I think they will, but they are making sloppy... I guess that's the definition of not bringing their A game. They do get a
that
kill
helps.
mid.
Pretty hard. Just calmly
have.
walks in, just Venge, please stun me so that Super can race me.
He's got like 0 armor.
I'm not sure what the plan there was.
Yeah, that was not the play. This isn't the game-winning play, LD.
They didn't know the Venge was there, but she's also off the map. So just a very risky maneuver.
The SF did subtly move forward though, like the Venge was there. The SF plays back and only raises for CS, and then he decides to walk up for no reason.
Yeah. Or maybe he's like doing like a Goritz play where he's just YOLOing in and there's actually no one waiting.
And then people are like, oh god, there's like AP. Yeah, he's like, that guy's so next level.
Yeah, that's when the mind games begin to come in. But of course, Vici always have this as an option. They can go for smoke ganks, Venge with the boots and the level 2 stun. Some kill potential here for sure. Fenrir now has a point in Test of Faith. Didn't go for that point in Penitence we sometimes see.
Oh gosh.
Wrap around. Oh, they walk in. ZSMJ, the one to reveal it. The Impale comes out. Hits on everyone. In fact, FY dropping quickly to these axes. ZSMJ hardly taking any damage from this. Tornado Summit, but it's pretty underwhelming. And
actually, he's going to stay, but this Venge doesn't have mana.
Uh-oh, they have another Impale. Fenrir does have to send back if need be. The long-range Impale comes out. Ice. Will finish off Kaka thanks to a little support from Fenrir. That Test of Fate doing quite a bit of damage.
He's gonna die, but I think they may be able to kill him. He's only got a null.
Boink.
Okay, this just gave the Centaur back his lane, essentially. He's got Trinkle Boots already. They killed a lot of people. They zoned the Troll out of his lane. He's got like 100 HP. HGT, I feel like that was more of their misplay. They could have gotten out with absolutely nothing lost.
And revealed the smoke, yeah.
Yeah, that was a net win for them, and then they decided the only way that was going to go badly for them is if they decided to fight that. Like, Centaur is still Centaur. He puts out a ton of burst damage. The whirling axes do nothing to a hero like him.
Air dropping low mid lane. The double raise coming out. Do they have the last raise? No, they already used the 2 long range ones
get
now.
FY for this, though.
The turn on FY. Boulder Toss comes out. Kaka has a follow-up Impale. FY will fall. They're going for more. Shadow Fiend Cyclone up, drop back down. If they have another clap after this, then Super might well be dead, but they're going to back off. Super popping the invis.
He's looking for the raises.
He's looking for the raises. Gets the double. Gets the frag on air.
You're so you, Super.
That's impressive.
It really was. That was just a
They knew it was coming, too. He pops that invis and like, oh, shit, run.
They recognize like half a second late. They're like, oh, he's going to turn this around on us. That's actually so terrible, though, that he died. Not terrible like he played wrong, but it's terrible for HGT because whatever advantage they just built up shutting this Shadow Fiend down has just evaporated. And
he's even with the safe lane troll, and he's 7 CS down. Oh, 5 CS now.
It's just things like this that are going to really wildly swing things for you, especially if you devote 2 heroes to this lane. This Brewmaster doesn't even have that much. I remember I saw like a game ago or something, IG's... Was it Ferrari had a blink bottle at 9 minutes or something, even with pressure? Oh, but mid, they are going to decide to go on him. Is there any sort of follow-up? Wow! I didn't even mean to do that to make fun of you. That was just a really heads-up play. They popped the Centaur ult. They were able to get away on Super, and he finds a regen rune.
Will, you actually almost killed me there. That was such an upsetting comment that I just started coughing uncontrollably.
You know, I haven't seen that clip before.
Really?
Yeah.
How have you not seen it before, but you know what it is?
I just know because I'm a dank meme lord.
A dank meme lord? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh my god. You know, I had been casting for like 6 months when that happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sick.
It was my first LAN event. TI2.
You've really grown.
Thanks, dude.
As a caster and a friend. You used to be a bad friend.
I didn't used to be How was I a bad friend?
I just want people to think that.
William. Vici Gaming gonna smoke, and it looks like they will go for the early Roshan. They have the Metamorphosis. It's maxed, and this is one big potential of their draft. We've even seen Eternal Envy solo the Roshan. Not quite this early, but they have the right creeps for it, too. The Wildkin giving them the bonus armor, the Venge minus armor. Rosh already at half, and HGT not very good at contesting this. They have no scouting, really no Clockwork Rockets, no Vengeful Spirit Wave of Terror, and just not much map control. The tier 1 bottom's still up.
I started doing this Venge build as well before I saw people do it, so I'll designate myself as a hipster.
You invented this build?
I didn't invent it, but I damn sure like it. Just the fact that -6 armor in an area that you just shoot out is insane. I know people like leveling the Vengeance aura at least once, but I think just the potential gains that you get off of it are extremely low. Like, in a lot of aspects, the Wave of Terror pays off more in the early game. I mean, imagine if you Wave of Terrors that Skywrath Mage. Like, what's that guy's armor right now?
Wow, look at this aggression from Super. He's going in.
They're not getting
it, CSMJ. is backing off. The Haste Rune now, or rather the Stampede now wearing off. Super and Fenrir both on the run. As the Terror Blade of Black is going to start occupying the enemy woods. Fenrir will Hand of God, but chaining forward is Icy.
He had to have, wow, I actually thought that was the wrong move. I was like, oh, why did he do that? He was going to live from that. But if he had waited, he would have died. What a player. Much better than I am.
You're so morose today.
Dude, I'm not. I just recognize that. I don't know. I think it's good to point out when people play badly, but at the same time, I don't want people to think that if I pick something out pretty badly, it just means that I probably could have done that. But if they did something really well, I want the viewers to also know that it was something noteworthy and why.
But you don't have to then flame yourself. You could just say that was amazing.
I guess, but
instead of that was amazing and I'm shit.
I really need these people to know how good that was, even though it seems so understated. It's just like the little things I feel that separate really good Dota players, right? Just
don't be so hard on yourself.
Nah, dude.
Just be more positive about how good that was.
Okay, how would I have done that? Okay, wow, that was a really heads-up play. He was able to preempt the Timber Saw Chakram. It was just something that you don't see very often. There you go, LD.
I'm just saying.
Okay,
work on that inner dialogue.
Man,
just a little.
I'll just be a little bit more positive about myself.
Don't be so easy.
ZSMJ is gonna take this bottom tower though by himself. I guess he's got the beak with him, but
the beak.
It's just that's how it attacks. It's like
Radiant's top tower
he must be so. That creep must be so proud of himself.
That would be a good mod. I would pay for that mod.
Yeah.
Every time it auto attacks, it makes a con.
That guy just took a tier 1 tower. That's like graduating high school for
Swap in. Nicely done by FY. They started off. They get the double kill as Air doesn't even manage to split. He blinks it and just gets eviscerated. Not sure if he even had a chance to cast anything there, but
no, there's like 2 stuns and like 8 nukes up there.
They had some heavy bursts. Just, I think he blinked in right as the Centaur stomp hit. Just kind of unfortunate timing.
Yeah. Here's the awkward moment now for VG though, is that they've devoted a lot of heroes to this. But okay, meanwhile Chen dies. I don't even know how that happened. But
Lion just manned up on him.
Yeah, this troll's slowly whittling down at bottom tower, and even though he might not take it, it's still one hero that was able to take down a bottom tier 2 by himself. You know, I noticed ZSMJ does this a ton. I don't want to knock him, but it feels like he doesn't play within the confines of his team whatsoever. It seems like he's really comfortable just kind of doing things by himself. And I mean, in a lot of aspects, I don't feel like Troll is the type of hero that you just split push and stuff like that. I think Whirling Axes is too good not to fight with the rest of your team. I feel like the slow from your axes, I just think the dual nature of the hero is too good not to take advantage of in team fights.
Oh, hello, Pretty Hawk. Black's just going to walk right by him and just scurry the other direction. Yeah, ZSMJ does like to play his own game. That being said, sometimes they put up in heroes like Brew where you can't really do that. And in those times, he's a little bit more team-oriented.
Dude, that creep just took another tier. That's a tier 2 he's been a part of. And he's alive, man. He's like the first of his family to go to college right now. I'm very proud of him.
You've been thinking an awful lot about college recently.
I miss it. I had a lot of fun there.
HGT now defending the tower mid, but it's hard to actually defend this, and let alone deny it against a Terror Blade with 200 damage, a Shadow Fiend with 160. Who's now got a mech online.
He still has Metamorphosis. The timing of this is to take the tier 2 tower, back off, farm the enemy jungle for 2 waves, and then go back to your own jungle and push out the top tier 1.
You know what's crazy? You don't really see Shadow Fiend Terrorblade and think 5-man, but with the mech on Shadow Fiend and the Chen creeps, this is very hard to stop.
It's the big difference, because you see the Western style is that they play a little bit more individual, like split push, and the Eastern style is let's pick up a mech as fast as we can. Like, that's the one really strong distinction I feel like you can make between Shadow Fiend players on both sides.
Yeah, the Yule Scepter build versus, or even before that, the Midas build. Now the initiation. Ice Sleep Eating gets off the initiation. Once again, Air dies without casting a split. They've just had his number all game long. Vici, it looked a little awkward in the laning stage, with Super giving up a rather careless first blood, but ever since that rotation into the Radiant jungle, it's just been all Vici all the way, and should HGT go on to lose this game, they'll be 5-9 in jeopardy of finishing bottom 4.
I just don't think that
ZSMJ has still not come to a fight.
Yeah, I just don't think
he's just living in this bottom lane.
You play like he's gonna lose his racks before he even gets there. What was the point of losing that tower, right? Imagine if that Troll's there. He got some damage on that bottom tier 3, but their team is being eviscerated right now. And the thing is, like you said, you don't see a TB and an SF and think, okay, they're going to 5-man this early. But if they opt to and they elect to, the SMJ definitely needs to learn how to participate a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where perhaps the team is not communicating that well, or he's saying just sit back, I'm going to split
I see
push.
him do a lot of this, even with like heroes like John.
Maybe they're fighting, you know, maybe he's got some, maybe someone's like hitting on his girlfriend and he's angry about it. Tung Fu style, you remember that?
There's
Tung Fu at TI2.
That rumor was ridiculous.
There was a little drama perhaps with Hao and Moo and a lady.
I mean, they've stuck together, YOLO, man. Was that bros before?
I guess that is, well, we'll try to keep it very respectful here. But top lane, I see getting caught out. Blink stomp to start. Now he's going to chain back. And
he actually bought back earlier, too. He'd be so poor if he dies. And I think Black made the wrong decision by not chasing this out. They almost certainly could have killed him.
Meanwhile, FY on the run. He's got a swap here as well. He throws out the Wave of Terror to cancel that Blink. Keeps on retreating. The Timber Soul will end up dying. And the Vengeful Spirit also falling during this time. Did
you see that? Ice suicided just to kill him. It was like one of the most spiteful things I've ever seen. He had like 100 HP and he throws out the double edge in the Chakram.
Yeah, they get the kill on the Terrorblade, although I will say Black is... he's got to have something else coming on the career. Yeah, Manta complete. I was going to say, he looks poor, but...
Nope.
Yeah, this is a very fat Terrorblade.
16-minute Manta feels like they might... Yeah, they did Roshan early enough, so he does... His Metamorphosis is almost over. He's going to just do this Ancient Camp. And then I think the goal is just wait out the Roshan. It's a pretty early spawn, another minute or two. And then you just go down the mid lane and push. HGT absolutely needed... The thing is, they didn't lose any racks, true, but whoever's decision it was, the SMJ, his team, whatever, the fact that he wasn't there to defend the tier 3, because the tier 3 is so crucial, especially against a Terrorblade. Once the Terrorblade just walks onto your high ground and your cliff, what do you do at that point? And the SMJ has a Shadowblade build. It's just like the split push, I'm gonna pick you off. It's not the ideal team fight build, because once they see that, if VG just pick up 1 or 2 sentries and then they push with it, I mean, essentially you're getting value out of the attack speed and the very minimal damage it gives you, right? It's like 22 damage and 30 attack speed. It's not even worth talking about.
Let's be honest. This item is not going to win a 5v5 clash. And Vici have built items that will. BKB out on the Shadow Feet now. The Manta complete. They could just bull rush mid. I don't even know if they need the Aegis, to be honest.
I think that if you give up, if you lose a fight and you could have gone for the Roche, and then you lose the fight, and then the Troll gets it instead, then things get really complicated for you.
The safe play is definitely to go for Roche.
Yeah.
But they are very strong right now.
Maybe if he had gone, like, let's say if this Troll gets... I don't even know if BKB is that effective against this lineup.
You know, the interesting thing is that illusion damage on buildings got nerfed, but I don't know how much that really matters for Terrorblade, because the main Metamorphosis... It still gets hit incredibly hard.
Yeah. And it's not like it's completely gone.
Yeah.
The hero still does
a lot of damage. Well, that was easy. Ice sets up a simple blink stomp, and I think with that, Vici Gaming just going to walk down mid. They know the racks are there. They're not sure if the Roche is up. So this is the guaranteed objective to try and take.
All right, so if you're Vici here, or if you're HGT here, do you send everybody back and just try to make one last defensive racks and potentially lose the game here? Or
I don't know.
Concede this?
Can you... They're in no position to split push. Like, just looking at the waves. So I guess you have to.
Because if they lose this, what'll end up happening is they go to Roche, and then they take bottom.
But the issue is that this Brew split, even if he gets it off, there's so much physical damage.
He just has to go for it, though. If they lose this racks,
they tried to Chen stomp him, but they couldn't quite get the timing right. He does get off the Brew split, still super unwinding with the Requiem. That will reduce the incoming damage as Ice is swapped out to safety. The Brew split wearing off soon. They're just fighting through the pandas. They're going to kill him in the split at 19 friggin' minutes. Black still healthy at full HP. He hasn't even used the Sunder yet. Manta is available if needed. He won't need it. That's one lane of Rex. They can't go for... They could go top for 2 if they want, but the safe play will be to back off for Roche, and that will be the play that Vici up for. Brew is just useless already.
Yeah. Once he got the Blink Dagger at a really reasonable time, just the engagement top and the one in mid as well before that has just kind of... it's snowballed in the opposite direction for him. Like, he was doing really well in the beginning, but he's trying to get a BKB now. The damage just isn't there. Maybe Vlad's would probably be the better option. Or maybe he is. I thought he had an Ogre Club, but I'm tired and it's a Stout Shield. And I just mistook that. And it looks like they aren't going to finish Roshan out.
They look almost identical, Stout Shield and Ogre Club.
Yeah, that's close enough. Or maybe it was Trez.
At least like 95% the same looking item.
Yeah, I'm not sure. If this Chen actually got some sick nasty golems too, look at this Chen farm alone. That's how you know. That's how you know if somebody's rich, LD. You don't look at the richest person on their team. You look at the poorest person on their team.
Yeah, even FY not that impoverished. But Roshan is being attempted here by HGT, but coming in hot is Vici. They stampede forward. FY straight into the pit. Can he snatch the Aegis? No. He's a bit too late. Super doesn't really care, though. He's just going to blink it, even without a Requiem. They get the Centaur stop.
He's going to wait till he respawns, sit on top of him.
He doesn't have Requiem, though.
Oh, he doesn't. It looked like he did.
How depressing. Yeah, he was playing like he had it. Now it's online. He may actually die to a Mystic Flare.
He's dead.
Oh, Super going to pop. It's the reduced damage. Blink, stop as well. Fenrir on the run. Black. Not sure if he should come in or not. He's going to end up blacking off. They'll lose Fenrir as well. Vici Gaming charging into the pit, feeding away kill after kill. 3 heroes dead. It's going to be 4. That's one throw towards a comeback, perhaps. 4 heroes down.
Black's going to die here too.
Boulder toss. He's going to Manta dodge it. What a player. Well, say what you will about Black and how he integrates into the team, but you can't knock his mechanical skill. Still will. That is a big gold swing.
All right, I'm an idiot. ZSMJ is like the best player in the world or something, and I just don't understand Dota.
That was a pretty risky play by Vici Gaming. If they steal the Aegis, then we're saying how amazing they are and they're winning the game right now. But
Dota's a game of inches, man, and I just look like an idiot as a result.
Jeez, you're turning
I'm
this
just
cast
kidding.
into your personal emo session.
All right, ZSMJ though, they had to make that play. If they give up the Aegis to either the Shadow King or the Terrorblade, no way they win that
HGT
fight.
has to go for that. I don't think Vici do though.
Yeah, they can probably still take a fight, especially with the Aegis down. Like, the Aegis got blown. The Vengeful Spirit got wasted. Like, boom, gone. She went for, like, that was the YOLO play. She, like, rushed straight in to melee range to try to pick up the Aegis.
Hey, give FY credit. He doesn't give a fuck.
He really didn't.
I'm going for this, boys.
That's I'm far enough ahead. I feel like my team still would have won that fight. But if we lose this game, I'll look back on that and be like, damn.
Still, I am a bit worried for HGT. Their physical damage is fairly lacking. They have the troll, and that's it. And you're up against now a BKB on Black. And there are no solutions for BKB outside of a bash, which, I mean, long term, is just not something you can really rely on against this lineup.
Well, there is the 1 in trillion thing where every single hit he gets a bash on Black, and that would be something else. And that would negate his BKB entirely, LG.
You're right. Is this a 1 in trillion kind of game? Are you feeling it? Are you feeling like a 1 in trillion kind of caster?
Yeah, I could see it right now.
There's not even a trillion Dota players, let alone casters. So I don't know if such a thing exists, Will.
It'll happen.
That makes you a liar.
Dude, I've never lied in my entire life. I'm 5'18".
Yesterday you were 5'10". Now you're 5'18".
How tall does that make me? It makes me 6'6".
Yes. The math is strong. Here we go. ZSMJ.
Black, is he gonna?
Oh, quick bash.
That's the BKB pop. That's the 10-second BKB. They 100% go for top right now.
ZSMJ now TP'd out, but he's gonna leave Air's Brew to die. They just feed him away.
He does not have
baffling plays by HGT as Vici.
Why did he go in after the BKB was popped and they lost positioning and they knew Centaur
He
ult was
BKBs, he runs in, then his Brew tries to come in, and then everyone else runs away.
Nope, not the fight. Black still has BKB up too. He didn't waste his.
Oh, they're going for the backstab though. Will we have that big initiation? Mystic Flare coming out after it. Impale. FY though, alive. Super. Kaboom. Quick Requiem. Now the chase upwards onto the hill. They're going to work on Icy here. Slowed down by the reflection. He Timber Chains back. The last auto attack, not enough to kill him.
Oh, ZSMJ with the hit and run.
Nice tactics from him. He gets the Venge, but can he stop the second lane of Rax from falling? Vici Gaming, not their smoothest performance here by any stretch, but it seems they're just going to brute force 2 lanes of Rax this early with the Shadow Fiend as well as Terrorblade. It looks bleak for HGT.
Okay, the problem with that is that actually having the... Oh, is he going to die here? Yeah, he is. The problem with what just happened right now... Oh, wow, he's alive! He's the best!
Fenrir God.
Yeah, he
the
really
other
is.
F God.
Who do you... How do you even... Oh, he guessed correctly.
There's a
The rest of his
BKB on
team is
black,
coming.
though. Maybe they get the bashes. He's
The
not willing to use
the
it.
18 bash stream. No, but what I was gonna say is the lion, right? So he
Oh, Fenrir, he's stuck around.
is 100%.
Buys the value gem before going down.
So the lion blinks in aggressively, tries to one-shot the Venge, but they actually need the lion with his level 3 or 4. Yeah, it's level 4 mana drain to clear the illusions from black. So he's thinking to himself, I'm just gonna die. If I kill him, great. If I don't, no value was lost. But that's incredible value, losing him there.
Losing the lion there is incredible value, you're saying?
It's like, well, for the other team, they need him so badly to clear the illusions.
Oh, I thought you meant for HGT.
How is that incredible value?
That was
for
like
HGT?
incredible value.
Yes, we lost our only illusion.
And the
clearer.
melee Rex.
Yeah, it's like we've got them in the position.
Hashtag efficiency, hashtag value.
It's like now you've fallen into our trap. We've died so many times that we respawn faster than you.
Benjamin Wu would be proud of this next level efficiency.
That really would be what one of my friends actually told me once. He's like, all right, what if you just feed 100 times to the same hero in the beginning of the game, right?
And then rubber band.
Yeah, and then you just like make sure it's like a Skywrath or something. Oh, at top.
I see getting trapped out here. He will chain back. He tries for the TP out and may make it with reactive armor. Nope, just get it. That's why I gotta swap him out. You know, that was the original 6.82 strat. That was the old boy strat. So here's what they would do. They would pick Spectre. They would pick a terrible laning lineup. They would lose all their lanes, right? So they're feeding. This is against Rave and I-League. They're down like 25k gold. Rave starts pushing high ground. They take a lane of Rax. But they stick around. They get a little crocky, just a tiny bit greedy, because, you know, old boys have just been rolling over, getting punched in the mouth. And then all of a sudden, they give up 1 kill, then 2 kills. Suddenly, Spectre gets a triple kill. William, I kill you not. 10, 15k gold swing off of 1 fight.
Yeah,
That was the original rubber band. Ice Frog was watching the game. 6.82B drops before game 2 of this best of 3. $300,000 land.
He's like,
The patch hits in the middle of the best of 3.
He's
That's
like, I can't let this.
Old boys were the masters for that. I mean, I say masters. They did it once, but that was the patch of Spectre.
I mean, you're probably the master of it. If you get it nerfed like 10 seconds later, you were probably the master of that strat.
And you know what else is? You know what the counter was to that? It was 2 things.
Is you
It was
right back?
It was Necrophos, so you can't buy back and just rubber band off of the buyback. And it was Wraith King with a refresher. That's what EG did.
Okay.
So Fear would buy a refresher on Wraith King.
Oh, so
that you never die, you never give them gold. There's no rubber band.
Or it's just a game where you rubber band off of each other. It's
I
just
will-
like infinite.
Yes, it was an infinite loop.
It's
of
like
rubber
2
banding.
turtles taped to each other. You just keep rolling in a circle.
It was a very trippy patch. I felt like, as Cassie was sitting there, and we both felt like we are kind of losing our minds during this game. It didn't help for me that it was middle.
The Shadow Fiend as a Scotty, they're definitely gonna just barrel down this. They can frontline their Shadow Fiend because they have a Vengeful Spirit, which is why Vengeful Spirit is the first pick, first phase, and as a support in almost every single game now.
Can I just turn on the Imperial March right now? Stock test.
People would hate us for that LT. We're already being dank memers, so
Are we?
yeah, they wouldn't like it if on top of that we
All
just
right.
lost sight of the game. Here's
There's
the big
gonna go.
fight.
Well, this Bruce split, we'll see how long it lasts. Doesn't seem like long. The Fire Panda
Okay,
dead.
he's running away
He's
with the
already
Pandas.
scattering. No, don't beat yourself. Wind Panda down. Earth Panda down. That Bruce split didn't even last half the duration. Now they'll drop the Lion. And with the Golems in tow, it's back to the well. CSMJ and crew on their last legs. Icy to fall. And Vici Gaming gonna clean up.
Okay, he's got a giant golem. They've all got tons of golem. Look at this.
Super just
He's
holds
got the value
record.
ult. Yep. It's a 29-minute GG. Okay.
This was Vici Gaming just like almost messing around.
Yeah,
I
they
feel.
probably were just like impudent. You know, just like whatever. We're so much better than you. It doesn't
I
matter.
feel like they spent this entire game probably arguing about the secret match.
Yeah. They were like, how did we throw that? Look at this. The thing though.
FY's like, I'm gonna pick us a shitty draft so that we might actually lose.
Yeah. The funny
They
thing
played it really well, though.
about that though is like the brew of we mentioned Air, who's an excellent brewmaster player. The funny thing about that was like he did the right thing. He blinks in, he claps, he splits, and then he's just confused. He's like we're normally I feel stronger than this at 30 minutes.
Yeah, normally you have like, well, I guess he had the Vlads, but he's got like Vlads, maybe the makings of the AC, a BKB. Yeesh. Well, I don't think we're going to see too much of this particular draft from Vici moving forward, but... And I don't think teams that... if they fall behind like that to a better team, I'm not sure they come back quite so easily, but good decision-making, you have to say. The Venge Smoke Gank was nice. The Roche Sneak was well-timed. And there was definitely synergy here, but this is a very greedy draft, and I feel something that if Vici try to run in the main event, they'll be exploited for it.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way that they decide to go for something like that again.
Like against a secret or something, that's just not going to happen.
At bottom, this failed smoke gank into a successful smoke gank, that shouldn't work. That's not something that's meant to happen.
Either the other team backs off, or if they go in, it's because they have the advantage there.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but they didn't even have the advantage there. They were against 3 heroes that were set up. I guess they thought
Chen had his creeps.
Yeah, I guess they thought the Venge didn't have mana, which she didn't for a second, but then she does. She has a stick, and just not opportune.
William, this is our last cast together.
I know.
You're leaving us.
I really am.
For the desolate wasteland. It's gonna be cold there. Have you gone clothes shopping yet?
Nah, from Korea. I've got enough experience.
Oh yeah.
I do wanna say stuff, LD.
Okay.
I hate making the cast about myself here, but thank you so much for giving me my start in Dota 2 casting. It means the world to me.
Are you saying I invented Blitz?
Yeah, you did. I would not be in the position.
I'm the Bulba of casters?
Yeah, our cast together is what got me my job, and just the love that I receive. So thank you so much for having me on.
Go kick some ass in Germany, buddy.
Thank you.
With that, guys, you'll get one more Blitz cast, but it won't be with me. It'll be with Suns Fan. IG versus HGT coming up next. We'll see you later.